Hi everyone, so what we're going to do today is to learn about the trigonometry. Before we start, actually we have to learn about to clarify the three sides of the right angle triangle. So first of all, let's introduce the name of the longer side. This is called the hypotenuse. So usually we just write HYP as the abbreviation, hypotenuse. And this line here with the two angles on the line, that's called the adjacent. So we just write ADJ. Okay, adjacent. Next to it, okay, adjacent. And the rest of them, this side, called opposite. Why is called opposite? Because this is the opposite side of that angle, so we call opposite. Okay, three things we have to clarify before we can go to the next step. Why this is important? Because we have to know these names of the sides in order to learn how to find out the angles or the length of the sides, in order to find out the angle size and also the length of each of the length of each side. Okay, so when we are learning the trigonometry, for those people who learn maths and English with the trigonometry, always heard about the soccer tour thing. So soccer tour, which is this, soccer tour. What is it about? What's that stand for? Okay, let's have a look at this. On the calculator, you can see some button with the SIN, sin, cos, tan. Sin, not sin, is a sign, S-I-N-E, sign. Cos is a cosine abbreviation, and tan means tangent. And what is it? Actually, it's talking about this. It's a function. Okay, S means sine. Usually, we just write S-I-N, abbreviation. Sine equals what? Sine of the angle, excuse me. Sine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse, and C will be stand for cosine of the angle equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent of the angle will be opposite over adjacent. Okay, so while we are learning the trigonometry, these six things, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These six major things you have to remember for your whole life. Once you remember this, and you'll be okay for the whole topic. Alright? The names of each side, hypotenuse, adjacent, and opposite, will have to be very familiar with that. Okay? And also the formula. Excuse me, something wrong with this. Sine of the theta. Excuse me. Sine of the angle simply equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of the angle will be adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent of the angle will be opposite over adjacent. The six things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, have to be very familiar with that, folks. Okay? So let's have a look at some examples. E.g., okay, I have this example in here. I have, this is 3 cm and this is 5 cm, and I'm looking for this angle in here. Right, what's the angle size of these thingy? Okay, what sort of information have we got in this example? Okay, let's see, 3 cm and 5 cm is talking about what? 3 cm, what is it? Oh, go back to the previous. This is what? Oh, opposite, isn't it? So 3 cm is the opposite side, so it's opposite And 5 cm, longest side of the triangle, so it's a hypotenuse. So we got the information of O and H, so refer to the formula O and H. So OH, so we use the is, which is sine. So go back to the question, so we use sine. Sine of the theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. So apply to the formula, sine theta equals opposite, which is 3 cm, divided by hypotenuse 5 cm. Alright, so while we are calculating by formula, again we're just doing some algebra stuff. So we look for the theta equals sine inverse of 3 over 5. So on the calculator, how are you gonna press that? So again, you just say, when you just press a sign, you can see just SIN, isn't it? That's not what we want. So go back, you say shift, you can see the eastward, shift sign, you can see the -1 thingy here. That's what we want, which is like me, shift of -1, because in here we have a sign, right? But if we move to the other side, which is inverse of sign, so we got shift of -1, which is being shown on the calculator screen. Sine of -1 of what? Bracket 3 divided by 5. Okay? Or if you just want to say 3 divided by 5 or 3 ABC 5, 3 over 5, it means the same thing, equals 36.9. Round up to 1 decimal place, and the answer will be 36.9 degrees. And that's the answer. Alright? Any problems with that? Okay, so that's for the first example. Okay, let's have a look at the other one. I've got, let's say, this one here. Again, I might just roughly drawing. Like this example, this is 45 degrees. Okay, this one here, this is 2. What's y? For example, just roughly drawing. This is not in scale, of course. Okay, this one here, what's the value for y? Y equals, I say this is 2 meters. Okay, for this question here, I just can tell you don't need to calculate. But I will calculate for you, but I'm just saying I don't need to calculate. I'll tell you why later. Okay, first of all, what sort of information have we got? This one here, what's the length? What length is that? 2 angles on a line, that's called what? Okay, let's have a look at the previous slides. 2 angles on a line, that's called adjacent. Okay, so this is adjacent. Oops, 2 meters, I'm sorry. Okay, what about the y? That's called the opposite. Okay, so opposite. Okay, and here 45 degrees. Again, it's given 45 degrees. So there's nothing to talk about the hypotenuse. So we got O and A. So OA, what formula should we use? Okay, we go back to the formula. Have a look. O and A. See? We use the tangent. So tangent theta, which is 45 degrees. Now this time here, because we're looking for the length, so that's the reason why we say, I'll just write down the formula by having degrees here. 45 degrees equals, what was it? O divided by A or A divided by O? Not sure? Okay, double check. Tangent equals what? O divided by A. Okay, O divided by A, so it is O y divided by 2. Alright? Okay, so again, doing the algebra stuff, y equals 2 multiply tangent 45 degrees. So y equals 2 times 2 multiply tangent 45. Okay, this time y is not necessary to press the shift, because look at the question. We've got tangent 45, right? See, the angle is next to the tangent thing, right? Straight away, tangent of the angle sides is not necessary to inverse of it. So in this case here, we just press tangent 45, so no shift. Okay, so 2 times tangent 45, so equals to 2. Alright, so the answer equals to 2 times 1 and y equals to 2. So the answer is 2 meters. Okay, so here equals to 2. 2 meters. Okay, at the beginning of the question, before I calculate this, I said that is not necessary to calculate. Why is that? Because look at the question. This one here is a right angle, and I said this is a 45 degrees, which means this one also 45 degrees, isn't it? Triangle add up to 180, so if this is 90 degrees, this is 45, this is also 45, then that means it is a what? A right angle triangle, but also an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle, that means the length in here and in here must be the same length. So if this is 2, this is also 2. So that's the reason it is not necessary to calculate all this kind of stuff. Just, I know this is answer 2. Okay? Alrighty, let's have a look at the other example. Okay, right, EG3. Okay, let's say this is this one. I've got angle, this one here, again theta. This one here is 12, and this is 13. Okay, what's the angle for that? Okay, now we are not referring to the formula anymore. We try to use our memories to apply. Okay, 13 obviously is the longest side of the triangle, so this is the hypotenuse. Okay, I'll just write meters again. 13 meters. 12 meter is a what? Adjacent. So A and H definitely cosine. So cosine theta equals to 12 over 13. And again, very easy. So we just press to the question. So again, because we're looking for the angle, so what should we do? We have to inverse of the cosine for this question. Inverse cosine, bracket 12 over 13 bracket equals, so equals to 22.6 degrees, 1 decimal place. Alright, so yes, people ask me, I said for this type here, my calculator is the old style one. For the new one in here, once you got press inverse of cosine, they will have automatically got one bracket in here, open it, so it's not necessary to press the bracket anymore for the new one, the new calculator. But for the old one, you just press the bracket straight away. For the new one, you don't need to press in. Okay, alright, try another few examples and see. how you think. Okay, e.g. For let's say this one, oh yeah, maybe this one here. Okay, yeah, just roughly draw. Okay, this one here, 33 degrees, and this is 4 cm, and yeah, let's have a look at that. This is, oops, excuse me, B cm. Okay, let's look for B. Okay, again, what sort of information we've got? B is the hypotenuse, and 4 is the opposite. So OH, what is it? Sine. So sine 33 degrees equals 4 divided by B. Alright, so how are we gonna do it? Okay, some people struggling about, oh now B is in the denominator. Some students got struggling of doing this. What should we do? Don't worry about it. Okay, doing algebra, remember what we learned about the cross multiplication. B multiplied with the 33, sine 33, I mean, B times sine 33 degrees equals 4 times 1, 4. Alright, so we've got B equals 4 divided by sine 33 degrees, which is equals, okay, press in, 4 divided by sine 33 degrees equals 7.3 cm. Again, 1 decimal place. Depending on what the question asking you, they ask you for like 1 decimal place or 3 significant figures or whatever. Look at the question. Okay, for my answer, I just round up to 1 decimal place. If the question asks you like 3 sig fig, then it's a 7.34 or whatever. Okay, and also look at the question and see if your answer is sensible or not. Okay, my answer here, 7.3, oh, longer than 4 cm. Okay, it seems sensible. If your answer is like, for example, your answer come up with like 2.4, for example, do you think it's sensible? No, because this one here is a hypotenuse. If you got 2.4 and this is 4 cm, what happened? This is way shorter than that. That is not making any sense, isn't it? So this is wrong, isn't it? If you got 2.4, so that's the reason why I say, oh, okay. Right, I think that's about it for sine, cosine, tangent. So I hope you guys understand what's going on. So again, bear in mind, for the whole topic, just remember the 6 major things: the names of the 3 sides and also the formulas: sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay, thank you very much.